Hey, morning.
Great to have you here.
Likewise.
I want to know one thing. What does it feel like to have a whole city named after you?
I tell you, it's really strange when they check into hotels and they look twice. It's San Francisco, Sept, get the address right here.
That's great. I'm sure it's not the first time you've looked at the numbers I just showed. So what do they really tell us? I mean, at Comcast, what do you think about when you see numbers like that?
Well, I certainly think that television's future is in good hands. Each advance in technology, whether it's process or algorithm or integration or material, just helps to blur the lines of distinction between the various families of devices.
So, how is TV going to change to respond to all of that?
Well, what we're seeing is platform-independent development, where standards are taking hold and developers are gravitating towards a standard development environment. As a result, television is changing from being a device to an application. This is going to allow to create a much more highly personalized and social experience for television.
Well, there's no question that experience is at the heart of that. I mean, I think, we heard that in Eric's keynote. You've mentioned it again. When we talk about experiences, I think about things like 3D TV. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, certainly. So television can scale as an application its fidelity between small battery-operated handheld devices and large immersive multidimensional experiences. So what you're seeing now is the ability to take stereoscopic 3D TV and pass it through existing broadcast channels. The cable industry is promoting the use of what is shown behind us as the over-under spatial multiplexing method. This allows you to take the left eye and collapse it in the vertical dimension, place it over the right eye, collapse it in the vertical dimension, and fit within an existing frame so it can be broadcast over the cable networks.
Wow, I'm really impressed. You guys are moving at light speed with 3D technology. So, it's not done, but it sounds like you're making good progress. What really excites you? What gets you up in the morning?
Well, it's certainly things like 3D. As we can prepare our networks to handle things like 3D and the standards take hold, consumer devices will start to standardize, and people can make the choice of bringing them to their house and enable us to bring such experiences to the home. Then what we want to do is take entertainment and fit to the personal interest and the social settings of the viewer. TV is going to be more interactive, yet it won't require more activity to enjoy. Interactivity is going to be an integral part of the experience. It's clear that content is still the most important part of television, yet that content needs to be should be matched to the personal interests.
Right. Okay. Hey, thank you, Mark. It's just great to have you here. I can't thank you so much. Give it up for Mark Francisco. Thank you very much. Right. Well, Mark just talked about highly personalized social TV experiences being fundamental. But how do you actually go about the design process? How do you engineer such experiences? And more importantly, how do you know after you've created the experience that people really like it, that people really relate to it, and most importantly, that people are willing to pay for it? Well, at Intel, we ask exactly those questions using teams of social scientists, cultural anthropologists, and ethnographers to really explore these kinds of issues in great depth. Let me show you a short video of what these people do.
Intel has a practice of not only understanding technology, but also understanding people and how they interact with that technology.
Intel's got one of the largest social science teams in the world, and we go out and study the needs of people where they live, work, and play as the beginning part of our product development process.
We have experts in a number of regions around the world, in Russia, across Africa, in India, in the Western world as well. And our task is really to try to harness and identify the key insights for how everyday experience is changing, and to try to make sense of that change at a global scale.
Some people think it's really strange that Intel, a big engineering company, has social scientists working for it. But we figured out a long time ago that understanding how people are actually going to use the products that we make really matters to how we make the products.
If you had told me 10 years ago that Intel would give me the space to go and discover the needs of real people and launch an entire new business group, I would have never believed you. But that's the power of ethnography. That's the power of social science. And that's the power that the lens of this fieldwork gives us for new product development at Intel.
We changed the way this company thinks. We changed it from being a company that measured its successes through Moore's law, microprocessors getting smaller and faster and cheaper, to being a company that asked itself a question, what are we building? And when we've built it, is it going to do something that people care about?
So we not only have a rigorous process for understanding what consumers will be interested in doing and also understanding what the technology will be able to do, but we also have a process in place where we take these concepts and we take these visions of what consumers will be able to do with television and we test them. We put them in front of consumers, we get their feedback, we get an understanding of what they might be interested in, and we use this process to inform our development along the way.